American 2507, say indicated airspeed. November 3 Tango Whiskey, descend via the Captain 3 arrival.
Descend via the Captain 3 arrival, Honda Jet 3 Tango Whiskey.
And Miami Center, citation 2088 Bravo is with you, flight level 160.
Citation 2088 Bravo, Miami Center, climb maintain, flight level 450, hello.
Climb maintain 450, good evening, citation 88 Bravo.
WestJet 4070, Miami Center.
Hey, all right, everybody, welcome on in. It's Captain Jack here. We are in this beautiful United 737 tonight at Tampa, Florida. We're going to have VATSIM. We've got the Miami Center controller on. A lot of things to tell you about tonight. You can track tonight's flight, United Airlines UAL 206 on simaware.ca, and we'll have the other fshub.io platform going here in just a few minutes. But I tell you, I love this airplane. The United Airlines flew this aircraft for a little while. They have since retired this particular livery. Graham, good morning. Graham, see you. Good to see you. We'll hopefully have some other folks joining us here in just a little bit. But I got to tell you, I absolutely love this
American
airplane.
2507, Miami Center, radio check.
And you can see that we've got ATC on this evening, so this is going to be fun. All right, now I've already done an awful lot of the pre-flight, but let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit here. I'm going to bring our sounds down just a little bit. We're more or less ready to call for clearance, so I think we're going to do that. The first thing that we're going to do, though, is get the APU started. So let's get the APU started. Everything is up here and is good. So while we're waiting for the APU right here to start on the overhead, let's go ahead and call in for clearance. Miami Center, good evening. United Airlines 207 at Tampa requesting clearance to MYNN. And welcome to the flight stream, too.
And United 207, Miami Center. I got Tampa approach coming up online, so just give me 1 second for that frequency.
Okay, roger that. We'll stand by for Tampa, South or United 207. So I got to remember that I'm United 207. You know, we've been doing so many flights as Southwest. I got to remember we're a different airline. Hey, Nathan is here. Nathan out in California. Hey, buddy.
What's your stream?
Captain Jack Flight Sim. Captain Jack FLT SIM on YouTube. Welcome. We'd love to have you join us tonight. Ernest, hello. Good to have you here. So we'll wait for our clearance and instructors here. So, yeah, once again, we're going to be flying this beautiful United 737.
American 2507, Miami Center radio check.
And we'll wait for that to get there.
American 2507, descend via the Frogs 4, arrival Miami landing east, Miami altimeter 3010.
Okay, why did my APU not start? Let's get the
4
APU going here.
East, American 507.
All right, that'll get us started.
November 263, clear direct Frog.
So I believe that frequency is going to be 118.15, looking at my briefing over here. We're already squawking 4641. We got those instructions through the ACARS notes. Looks like we've pretty much been cleared already, but let's see. We're going to climb and maintain 6,000, so he's going to give us some instructions here. So let's go ahead and start setting some of this up. Appreciate all of you joining me here tonight. We're going to make this a double hop. This is going to be a double hop, actually. We're going to Nassau in the Bahamas, and then we're going to fly back to Fort Myers, Florida. So good to welcome all of you guys in here. You have to say a hello to each other in the chat.
November 3 Tango Whiskey.
And we'll have a good time with this. So I'm going to ask him in a minute if he wants me. No, the departure frequency is 118.15
for November 3 Tango Whiskey.
So we'll see what he's got going on here. I've already set up the MCP for a course and heading and altitude, so we're set there.
2023 Miami Center, climb maintain flight level 350. Hello.
Let's get our APU bleed on, that's on, and let's get on our APU gens.
United 207, contact Tampa approach on 118.15, 18.15. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here tonight. We'll go to Tampa approach 118.15, UAL 207. All right, so we'll change over there. And let me make sure I know where I am here first, and we'll get started, and we'll call for clearance. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that now. Tampa approach, good evening, UAL 207 at Tampa, requesting IFR clearance to MYNN, UAL 207.
United 207, Tampa approach, good evening. Did the previous controller not clear yet, Nassau?
No, he said he was going to look up the frequency to send me to you.
Roger. Okay. Stand by. I'll expect a PDC.
Okay, we will expect that and stand by. UAL 207, thank you. Okay, so we've got the APU on, and we're going to finish going through our setup checklist here. Thought I'd add a couple of new things. You'll see up there in the upper area of the screen, you're going to see our departure and arrival airport, and we'll see if everything works as far as the speed and the heading and the time elapsed for the flight. I'm doing some new stuff here with the flight stream, so we added that in. We're on Volanta, which is a service where you can not only track your aircraft, but do a lot of really cool things. Look up VOLANTA, and of course you can follow us tonight live in live time, simaware.ca, and do a search for UAL 206, so you can take a look at that. Tom, hi. How are you tonight? KD4DT is here. KI0AR is here. Bernice is here. Let's see. Nathan is here, my good buddy out in California. And our good friend up in Scotland, Graham. Good to see you up there, mate. Appreciate you taking the time so late at night up there. All right. Well, we're more or less ready for pushback, I do believe. Let's go over a couple of other things and just make sure they are set. I have already set us up as far as the FMC, so we're going to get in the air here pretty quickly.
Double check your messages for me. If not, I can give you a voice clearance.
Okay, I think he was talking to me. Okay, yeah, Tampa approach. I believe I see the clearance there, UAL 207. I believe you were talking to me. We'll be squawking 4641.
That's affirmative. Your readback is correct. Push and start is at your discretion. Expect runway 1 right.
Okay, we'll push and start at our discretion. Let you know when we're ready to taxi. Expect 01 right. UAL 207. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get on away here from the gate. So we're going to release our ground power and get that disconnected. We're going to release the jetway. Take a look at those. Here's our ground power unit. It's disconnected. Jetway is rolling away. We'll spin around here and make sure the door is shut, right? Remember that flight out of Albuquerque to Phoenix at one time? And we're seeing all doors are shut on the panel up here. So that looks good. Let's go ahead now and set up our pushback. We'll get back here into the FMC and we'll go to our ground services. And we'll go to pushback. We're going to push basically straight out, but we are going to turn our nose to the left because we're going to have to hit. No, we don't want to do that. Just come back here. Straight out. And we want to turn the nose to the right. All right, we were in the correct position there. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and select our tug. Our tug is selected, and we'll go ahead and start now.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release parking brake, please.
All right, we'll get the parking brake off here and release that with the pedals.
Brakes released.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. We're moving out. Hey, Kevin, welcome. Are you one of the controllers we were talking to there? Welcome. Glad to have you on board UAL 207 here on the Captain Jack Flight Sim. All right, we're pushing out. Let's go ahead and get back in the cockpit here and get those engines started up. Okay, one other thing I need to check here, make sure that we've got that checked. Let's look at our flight plan. We'll pull it up here to where you can see it. We're going to go to 37,000 feet. So let's set our pressure to 37,000 feet. And we're going to leave our landing pressure at 0 because Nassau is basically sea level. All right, let's introduce fuel and get our engine powered up here. Okay, fuel is going up. Let's take a view outside of the airplane at this. Engine is rolling up. All right, let's get back in here and start up our #1 engine. And you can see her starting to spin up. All right, they're going to give us, they're going to tell us to set our brake. Okay, parking brake is set. All right, we'll get that going. Brake set. Okay, we're about ready to introduce fuel to #1, so we'll flip up our switch there, and we've got our fuel started.
Pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
All right, thank you very much. We will have a good flight. Okay, Kevin, fellow pilot, you're Nate's friend. Well, welcome, man. I am glad to have you here tonight watching the live stream. Coming to you from the underground bunker in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, as I like to call my basement office ham shack flight simulator room. So glad you guys are here tonight. We will go ahead and call for taxi. So let me hit a couple of other things here on our checklist. All right, engines are up and started, so we need to go ahead and make sure the fuel is on for those. We're going to get our engine gens going, and we're going to come up here and check our engine generator 1 and generator 2 are good. All right, we're going to get our recirc fan on. We're going to get our packs on. Our isolation valve is going to go to auto. Our engine bleeds are on. We're going to disconnect our APU bleed and turn off our APU. I actually am using the Bravo throttle quadrant from Honeycomb. Let's get our probe heat on, and we're going to bring up our engine hydraulic pumps, being as the engines are going now. All right, that all looks good. Okay, that's set. All of those are set. Elevator trim, let's go ahead and set for elevator 1, position 1. We'll get those sounds up for you. Hey, Rich, how are you? Glad to see you. Yeah, we're in the 737-700 tonight. And we'll take, again, one beautiful look at the outside of this United Airlines aircraft. It's just a beauty with this livery. Unfortunately, they're not flying it anymore. I was really disappointed. I wanted to fly on that thing sometime. So we are set there. All right, we're going to arm the auto throttle. And we're going to get our brakes to RTO, so they are in RTO. Let me go ahead and get our taxi. Tampa, UAL 207, pushback and start completed. We are ready for taxi instructions to 01 right, UAL 207.
Yeah, 207, runway 1 right, taxi via Charlie, cross runway 10.
All right, we'll taxi via Charlie and cross runway 10, UAL 207. All right, guys, we are ready. We're going to set our transponder on as well. Our transponder is on and ready to go. Let's take a quick look down at the radio panel just so you can see we're transponding 4641 and we're in TARA. So we are ready to go. Let's get out of here. Brakes off, and we'll start our taxi. Let you guys see the aircraft here in all her beauty. And we're going to get up here to taxiway Charlie. I'm going to get us out of here pretty quick. We will come up to a full stop at the hold short point and get clearance for takeoff, of course, but let's get on moving along. You can see here on the ground speed right now is 2525. And let's see, my buddy Elijah in Salt Lake City is here. Elijah, welcome to the flight stream. Yep, the KK7GKG. Young Ham, who has now become part of our Skyhub Link repeater linking system. So we're certainly glad to have Elijah and his Salt Lake City repeater on for us. Man, that's just a gorgeous aircraft, isn't it? Yeah, once again, we're going to fly to Nassau, then we're going to do a real quick turnaround and fly to Fort Myers, Florida. Should take us maybe about wholesome total of 2 hours, I'm hoping. So we'll see how that comes out. I want to welcome those of you who have maybe joined us for the first time. If you all would, please, please, please smash that thumbs up button. Really would appreciate you doing that for me in the sim here. So we'll go ahead and get up here, and we'll go through the final bit of the checklist and get ready for takeoff here from Tampa. We'll try to get some real nice views going out. Okay, here we are at the hold short line. I'm going to go ahead and put the brake on and let Tampa know we're here. Tampa, UAL 207, holding short, runway 1 right, 207.
Yeah, 207, Tampa wind 0205, flighting 010, runway 1 right, clear for takeoff.
All right, we're cleared for takeoff. We'll fly runway heading 010 until otherwise instructed, UAL 207. All right, let me go through the rest of the checklist here. All right, we're going to go ahead and reset our fuel flow. Our fuel flow is set. We're going to check our V speeds one more time. Let's get to where we can do that in the FMC here and make sure that the V speeds are all where they should be. And they are 132, 133 is our rotate, 134 is V2. All right, we are set to go there. We're going to look up and we're going to set our engines to continuous. And I'll get back to you guys in the chat here. You know, Kevin, I'm hoping that we'll have pretty much ATC most of the evening here. We will see. Okay, our position lights are on. Our landing lights are on. Our clock is start. And let's go ahead. Let's get ready for getting out of here, my friends. Get us a beautiful takeoff out of Tampa. And he cleared us for takeoff, so we're going to do a southwest turn and burn here. Let's go ahead and get moving around. Let's get lined up on the center of the runway. Okay, engines are at 50%, and toga, let's go. Slight nose down, pressure. We'll turn up the sounds, and we'll give you the throttle count. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
80 knots checked, release pressure on the nose. We're gonna get ready for V1, which should be at about 133.
V1, J2.
Okay, rotate. Get up in the air. There we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Okay, and gear up. Okay, we're going to stay on this runway heading. I did not turn the flight directors on, so let's get those on. And let's get our LNAV and VNAV engaged. Okay, we're going to stay on the runway heading. Beautiful aircraft. All right, we're going to wait for him to clear us out on the flight path.
Yeah, 207 radar contact, hit altitude passing.
Okay, copy 207 radar contact. I'm sorry, say the last.
Gate altitude passing.
Coming through 3,000 feet.
Yeah, 207, thanks, turn right, heading 090, climb maintain 1 to 12,000.
Okay, 1090 and 12000 for UAL 207. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and engage our heading, and he's cleared us to 12,000 feet. If I can get it dialed in there, I'm going to go ahead and hit Command A and let the airplane take care of itself here, since he's given us some precise headings to go on. And let's look outside. Flying over Tampa, Florida. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, Kevin, you know, you can participate in just about as much detail in this simulator as you possibly could want to. I'm going to pull those sounds down a little bit. Okay, I think he called me there. Let's get back in the aircraft here real quick. Okay, Tampa, I'm sorry, 207 here. Your audio's a little low. Say again.
United 207, turn right, direct crowd.
All right, we'll do direct to crowd, UAL 207. Okay, so he wants us to go direct to crowd. So we're going to be crowd in here. We're going to advance to that. And we're going to hit our
1338, thanks for India.
nav.
Expect runway.
Make the turn.
Expect the ILS runway 1 left.
Okay, so what we're doing, and I'll show you this on the FMC here in just a minute, is he cleared us direct to our waypoint crowd. So I entered that into the FMC. Let me bring up the right camera here. We entered that into the FMC, and then we engaged our lateral navigation. Our VNAV is set, so we're climbing towards our altitude that he gave us at 12,000 feet. And then he should clear us on to 37,000 feet here before too long. But man, these views of Tampa, isn't that incredible? Let's see, yeah, we're on VATSIM. We're using VATSIM tonight, the air traffic control network. I'm not 100% sure how to describe it to you exactly. It's one that interfaces with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and also X-Plane. Just gorgeous pictures tonight. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button, sure would appreciate that. That would be very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, 207, contact Miami Center, 135.17. Good night.
Okay, we'll contact Miami at 135.17. Thank you, sir. Good job. Appreciate it. Captain Jack, UAL 207. Okay, so we're going to...
You have a good one.
Okay, let's go through our after takeoff checklist. Actually, let me get center on the line here. Miami Center, good evening. Captain Jack, the flight sim, UAL 207 with you at 12,000 feet.
United 207, Miami Center, hello. Climb maintain, flight level 370.
All right, we're go for 370, and welcome to my flight stream tonight. Appreciate having you on, and the good job you guys do. UAL 207.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead and get on our way to 37,000 feet.
Citation 208A Bravo is back with you.
So we're going to disconnect the LNAV and re-engage it.
Roger, you got another probably 10 minutes before you're at the boundary.
And we're going to start climbing to our assigned flight level.
Hey, Miss Center, no,
didn't want to do that.
You wanted me to put in the arrival for Frog for runway 8 right, is that
okay,
correct?
Very good.
November 5 Victor Juliet, I cannot assign you a runway, but I can say
I'm
clear
lower,
direct Frog
lower
and then be the
those,
Frog 4 arrival. And Miami landing east.
Lower
Miami
that a little bit.
30.
Let's see. So I wanted to comment on some of the things you guys are saying in the chat. Kevin, is the tower come on all responses? They're not always here. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. I do have a map open this evening of where we have control tonight. So I'll go ahead and make that to where you can see it. So all these dark areas in flight simulation is where they're being controlled on the VATSIM network. There are a couple of other networks that are available to flight simmers, but VATSIM by far is the most popular. So as you can see, we're down here in this area. Here's our aircraft right here, UAL 207. And we're on the way to Nassau. And as we get down towards Nassau, we're going to see here that we're going to run out of his coverage because we're going down here to MYNN. But then later we'll be flying back to Fort Myers. Hey, not only is my flight on time tonight, but we're actually out early. How about that? That's awesome. So, Kevin, there you go. First flight sim experience, you say, was MS-98 flight sim. My first was a DOS-based green line. That's all there was, you know, green rectangular lines, and it was really, really, really interesting. Really interesting. Way back in the DOS days, if you guys remember that. But then again, I think I used Flight Sim 98. Really got into it again more so when I was let's see, Flight Sim 2000, was it? No, what was it? 2014, celebrating a century of flight. That was the one that really got me hooked and carried back into it. So there you go. Graham, let's see, same thing, same back then, big changes in MS 2020, yeah, for sure. Kevin says, I know a lot of pilots use them in the winter to stay up on procedures and communication talk. That's absolutely right. I have several friends who help keep, oh, we're at 18,000 feet. Let's reset our altitude here. And our engines can come out of continuous for takeoff, so we'll go ahead and pop those into the off position. Let's look up and make sure that our pressurization is good. That looks really, really good here at this point. All right, the upper panel is all good, and the main flight panel here in front of us, everything's looking pretty nominal. We're going to watch for our top of climb to come in here pretty soon.
November 07 Yankee Juliet, contact Boca Raton Tower on 118.42, 18.42. Have a good one.
See Lake Okeechobee way off here in the distance. That's pretty cool.
07 Yankee Juliet, have a good one.
All right, yes, so Conrad, Kevin, they do. A lot of pilots will practice with this, and there's a couple of pro sim air controllers that are on. I believe that may only be available in California. Not 100% sure of that. Let's see, so Rich said I flew the Dahar TBM a couple of hours ago from Key West to Port St. Lucie.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Nice weather in Florida rather than Colorado today, but today wasn't bad for February in Colorado.
2109, contact Miami approach on 119.45, 19.45. Have a good one.
All right, guys.
1945, American 2109. Good day.
We're making our left turn here at Crowd. Take a little further look out. We'll do a little zoom out. There's our top of climb point. All right. If there's any questions I can answer for you fellows, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I would be happy to do that. I did practice this flight last night and had a real good time doing it, but I didn't have any air traffic control, so had to be all by my lonesome in a couple of other airplanes there. Okay, we can get rid of our sim brief channel for now. One thing I am going to take a quick look over here at our pad, and let's go to our landing dispatch. I know that we're going to be landing on runway 32 in the flight plan at MYNN, which is Linden Pendling International Airport. Okay, landing flaps 30, packs are on, anti-ice, not going to need that. The Bahamas, 70 degrees right now, and a barometric pressure of 3006. We will wait to do the calculations for our landing.
Wings 137 cross bridge, out and maintain 11,000, 11,000, Tampa landing north. Tampa altimeter is 3018.
One other thing, I mentioned this a little while ago, but once again, you can follow us on simaware.ca. As a matter of fact, we'll take a quick look at that. Simaware.ca and look up UOL 206.
American 2127 Miami Center, climb maintain flight level 230, 230, hello.
230, and I kind of got direct espresso, American 2127.
All right, let's look up UAL 206.
Direct espresso, American 2127.
Or 207, rather. Sorry.
United 7855, Monterey Unicom 122.8.
And there we are.
Center just closed for some unknown reason. Have a good one.
Over to Unicom for United 7855.
Delta 131, Monterey Unicom 122.8, Jacksonville Center's closed. Have a good one.
I'm also noticing that our flight tracker up in the upper end of the screen there is not giving us our speed and altitude and time elapsed. So I'll work on that for the next one. Using a Volanta for that, I'll show you the Volanta screen here.
Delta 1510, sorry, I had a colleague talking to me. Just maintain flight level 370, hello.
You guys can get on this website too if you wanted to, but it is tracking us here But for some reason, it's not lining it up on the top of our screen there. So that'll be a bug I'll work out of the system at a later time. So we'll keep a look at that. And let's see. Kevin says, is anyone else a pilot in the chat? Yeah, I'll let you guys, it looks like Rich and Bernice did answer that, so I'll let you guys do that. Rich, you had a private ticket back in the early 80s? Bud Sergeant in the Air Force, thank you for your service. Oh, we're making our right turn. We're going to fly right over Lake Okeechobee, it looks like. All right, as we continue on that flight path, Bernice says flew the T-28 Trojan in Navy Flight School. I could fly it, but just not land it very well. Well, that's important. We'll see how my landings are here this evening as we get in. Okay, we can also take a quick look at our progress here. So we're coming up on PHK, and we're not flying necessarily in real time here due to the fact that we wanted to fly in the daytime instead of it being a nighttime flight. So we will go ahead and look at the clock over here, and our clock says 1412. So that will help us stay with a modicum of understanding. So about 8 minutes away from PHK, and we're about a half hour or so away from MYNN. Then we'll land, do a quick turnaround, go to Fort Myers. All right.
November 5, Victor Juliet, Miami Center.
It's fun having the
Southwest
ATC on tonight.
3882, Southwest 3882, contact Miami, approach on 19.45, 19.45.
I got somebody texting me here that I need to respond to.
November 5, Victor Juliet, contact Miami, approach on 119.45, 19.45. Have a good one.
Okay. All right. That's all that
Contacting
means.
approach 119.45.
Anyway, hope you guys are having a great night, enjoying the flight so far. Let's get some more views outside.
18.15. Have a good one.
As we fly over Central Florida, it's really interesting because you can see the west coast of Florida over here. And if the cloud, well, we can see it over there. There's the east coast.
2088 Bravo, Miami Center. You with me? Yep.
And right over Lake Okeechobee.
Go ahead, Mark. Unicom 122.8. Jacksonville Center just closed. Have a good one.
Over to Unicom 122.8. Citation 88 Bravo. See ya.
Miami Center UAL 207. You're going to be around for a while this evening. We're going to do a quick turnaround at Nassau and head back to Fort Myers.
I don't know if I'll be on that long. Got some other plans.
No, understand we can't have fun all night, right? Well, thanks for everything you're doing and for being here. You're on the Captain Jack Flight Sim live stream tonight on YouTube. Thanks for being here.
Let's go look it up. You said YouTube?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. CAPN Jack FLTSIM. And we're in UAL 207 tonight.
Gotcha. I'll join it.
All right. Little shameless plug there on VATSIM. Why not? have a great time. Let's see. Graham says he's a retired flight sim pilot. Not great. You know what, Graham? Just get in there and have fun. You know, it doesn't matter how good we necessarily are at it, but do we love it and enjoy it? I got to tell you, I'm 63 years old, and I think that I just about enjoy this activity more than anything else I do. And I love riding a motorcycle, and I am a ham radio operator and love ham radio, but I think I actually enjoy doing this flight simming stuff more than anything I've ever done. I told my wife I've got plenty to do when I retire, so that's good. Nathan says, do the flight sim controls provide feedback like turbulence or something? You know, Nathan, there are some that do. Mine don't, as far as that goes, but there's a lot of things you can do. They've got a thing called a butt kicker that you can put on your chair, and a lot of people will use that to simulate at least some of the roughness that you might feel in a real aircraft. And it's like anything. How much money do you want to put into your simulator? That's about what it comes down to. I thought, I've got to get it to where it's a little easier to get to, but I do have a complete picture of my flight sim setup here, so I'll have to get that to where I can show you guys maybe in an upcoming sim. All right, we're coming up with just a little over 31,100 feet. Let me get the PFD here to where you guys can see it, and hopefully my stream is cleaned up a little bit tonight. I did some things with my internet to try to make the stream look a little better as far as the detail that you can see on the screen here. See, Kevin says, got my GA license this summer. Kevin, congratulations, man. That is awesome. You'll have to fly to Denver and let me know when you're coming. Take me up sometime. That would really, really be awesome. One other thing that I'm going to work on for the flight stream here is a background. You can see basically my office room that I'm here. Nathan, you say the stream looks great. Great. The one thing that I'm curious about is, can you read the numbers? Are they nice and clear? That was one thing that I was really trying to improve. I had some internet issues here at the house with CenturyLink, my provider, but I think I may have those fixed. So we'll see. Graham says, landed in Miami yesterday, forgot to put the landing gear down. What a fast, noisy stop beats the reverse thrusters any day. Graham, we've all done it, dude. We've all done it. Oh, Nathan, that's great. That's great. If you can read them and see the detail, even with the screen right about here, that really helps you guys see that. I'm at a speed of 276 knots. I'm at 33,140 feet at the moment. Kevin says, looks great. Kevin, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Most of the flights...
Delta 1510, descend via the Frog 4 arrival. Miami landing east. Miami altimeter is 3013, 3013.
Okay, looks like we're right over Lake Okeechobee. Yep, we are. Almost dead middle of it. How about that?
Delta 1510, descend via the Frog 4 arrival.
A little bit
Miami
later, we're going to be landing in Fort Myers, which is right over here. Looking over there at Fort Myers. Miami's kind of visible off in the distance.
The altimeter is 3013 at Miami, Delta 1510.
American 2127, descend via the Coastal 2 arrival. Miami landing east. Miami altimeter 3013, 3013.
Coastal turn descend by the Coastal to London East, American 2127.
Okay, Everyday Aviation Audios by Aviation Guy. Hey, man, welcome. Glad to have you on the Captain Jack flight stream here. Aviation Guy is in here, too. Thank you for joining, guys. It means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you would do me that service. That would be great. We're at 34,900 feet, almost up on top of climb. We're going to have a very, very short cruise. A very short cruise, only about a 40-some-odd mile cruise before we start going down. Yeah, the shirt's great, and I have to admit I got that the idea to get the shirt from Captain Canada, who is another flight streamer here. We are going to Nassau, Aviation Guy. We're going to Nassau, my man. So Nassau in the Bahamas, and we're going to do a real quick turnaround, and I mean a quick turnaround. We'll simulate offloading passengers and loading them on, but we're going to do it real quickly. Then we're going to turn around and go to Fort Myers, Florida. We're going to turn around and just get right back up in the air as quickly as I can get the flight plan loaded in. Once again, I did this for practice last night and really, really enjoyed it there. Take a look out over the right wing. And I tell you, I just love this Star Wars theme. And if we get in here, you can look in here. This is cool inside the aircraft. But they've done it all. Let me cruise down the aisle here like I should. Excuse me, ma'am. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me. Okay, let's get up here. And let's go ahead and turn around. Okay, they do not have the special Star Wars livery in this airplane. We've got PMDG 737 there on the TV screens. All right. Hey, AOPA pilots got magazines on board this aircraft. How about that? In the X-Plane 11, 737-800 United livery that I have, they actually have the blue Star Wars seats on one side and the red ones on the other. And maybe we'll do a flight in that one in X-Plane 11 sometime. Looks like we're going to be coming up over some cloudiness here. A little bit. More reflection off the ocean, though. Let's see. I think it's B. Yeah, there we go. Wanted to bring up the map, and it looks like we're going to be, it's not giving me the city markings here. KLNA, I'd have to look that up. I don't know that one by heart. See approximately where we'd be going over the coast, but anyway, north of Miami, what, south of Melbourne, I believe? All right, you know what? My camera was in front of that for you guys, so let me bring that back. All right, there we go. That's what I was looking at. Okay, this is not giving me the city name. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool as we cruise on over here. So want to keep an eye out. All right, let's keep an eye out for our top of climb and top of descent. You see how close those are. We're going to have a very, very small cruise. We are going to use the RNAV approach for runway 32 at Nassau. So I'm going to go ahead and preset our course. I'll have to get the exact direction here in just a minute, but I know it's going to be in the realm of 320. And we'll keep our heading on the flight track here in just a moment. All right, so we're at 37,000 feet. That's our cruise altitude. Not sure why our top of climb is indicating a little further out. But once that TC goes by, I'm going to reset our altitude to begin our descent when we hit the top of climb point. Let's see. Let me get back to what you guys are saying here. Okay, let's see. David Burns. David, welcome, welcome. Good to have you in here, David. Appreciate you checking into the Captain Jack flight stream. If you guys haven't done it yet, smash that thumbs up button. I was told to say that a lot, so we'll go ahead and do that. David, you say you're from BAW4MA. I apologize. I'm not sure where or what that is, so maybe you can enlighten me as much as you want to in the chat there. But I appreciate you being here. Thank every one of you for joining me here tonight. So once again, I'm keeping an eye on that TC and TD indicator on our main flight display here on the MFD. And I think, okay, David, you just departed Miami. Oh, all right, all right. Are you going to fly out to Nassau with us? That would be awesome if we could see you at the airport there. We'll have to see what you're going to do. But David, welcome. So if you just departed MIA, let me go down here. What's your flight number? What flight number are you? Because I can look here and. Are you using VATSIM? If you're not using VATSIM, I won't be able to see you. Don't forget, guys, simaware.ca, put in UAL 207.
United 2007, cross Ray J, out and maintain 11,000.
Okay, United 207, cross maintain 11,000, did you say at Ray J?
Affirmative, Ray J at 11,000, and Nassau altimeter is 3006. 3006.
3006 at Nassau will maintain 11,000, UAL 207. Okay, so we're going to get ready to start going down here in just a minute. So I'm going to set that for the moment, because here, as soon as we hit our top of descent, we'll have about 60 miles to comply with his instructions and get to Ray J at about 11,000 feet. So we're looking good. David, you're going to Gatwick. Holy mackerel. You've got a long flight ahead of you. I see, let's see. Let me see if I see you here. Yeah, not sure I'm picking you up. So yeah, if you're not in VATSIM though, if you're not on VATSIM, I won't
48 Miami Center. Go ahead.
Okay, our descent has not started. So we're going to go ahead and kick in manual descent here.
Stand by 01.
And I'm going to start descending at about 2,500 feet a minute. And we're going to watch our airspeed. Okay, so we're descending.
Sorry, just speed 848 Miami Center. Just confirm you said you're going to Lima, Foxtrot, Lima.
Yeah, that's Leon.
Okay, David, you say you're you're just coming to Aura, however you pronounce that, and on VATSIM is VAW4MA. Okay, I'm sorry, I did not understand that.
Sorry, jet speed 848, clear to Lima, Foxtrot, Lima Airport via radar vectors Palm Beach VOR, then as filed. Maintain 3,000. Expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure this frequency, squawk 5622, 5622.
Okay, I'm going to get in here to the
And that's the
flight management computer.
Cleared Leon via radar vectors Palm Beach, Emerson.
They want us at 11,000 feet at Ray J. So I should be able to get in here and go 11.
And it's going to be 5622, 5622.
Execute.
5622, jet speed 848.
Jet speed 848, read back
back to our vertical
runway
nav.
28 right for departure, call for taxi.
Okay, there we go. So now we have our rated descent indicator coming up on the MFD.
American 2127, no clear disconnect on Bunker Chu, descend on close.
And it should recalculate us here.
2127 Miami Center, roger.
Although we're actually getting lower, so I'm going to recycle that vertical navigation. Okay, now we're coming down to where we should be on the correct descent path. Very good. You know, I had one of the other flight streamers that I follow, Mickey Mike, who I really like, man. He does a lot of really great flight sims.
1945, yeah.
You see one of the Bahama Islands off in the distance there.
11:15, descend via the Bullfrog 2 arrival, Tampa landing north. Tampa altimeter is 3020, 3020.
Pretty busy on VATSIM tonight.
Arrival to Tampa 3020, altimeter 11:15.
Delta 1510, contact Miami approach on 119.45, 19.45. Have a good one.
Going to be a little busy here.
$19.45 for Delta 1510.
B-Bird 4 Mike Alpha, monitor Unicom 122.8, Jacksonville Center's closed. Unicom 22.8, have a good one.
He's going to send me to Unicom as well.
Mike Alpha, cheers, mate.
Show you guys what I'm doing here. I'm dialing up the Unicom frequency on the standby side of the radio. So we'll go to 122.88 or .80, I'm sorry. Okay. There we go.
Spirit Wings 1115, contact Tampa approach on 118.15, 18.15. Have a good one.
Okay.
11885.
Now we're going to monitor our descent in speed.
Spirit Wings 1115, verify that's 18.15, 18.15, 15.
1815, Spirit Wings to there, Victor.
Have a good one. And United 207, monitor Unicom 122.8, Nassau, approaches offline. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you very much for the great job tonight. Appreciate it as always. We'll go to 122.8, UAL 207. Good evening.
See you.
Okay, good thing I dialed that frequency up when I did. Nassau Unicom, Nassau traffic, United 207 through 27,700 feet, coming up on Ray J, and then inbound for runway 32 at MYNN. UAL 207, Nassau traffic. Okay, so we'll make that little announcement there, and we'll continue our descent. We're looking good to get to Ray J at 11,000 feet. And then if we look at the rest of our flight plan, we'll have 53 miles to descend about 9,000 feet to Cuddly. And then I'm going to probably vector us off on this a little bit because it's a real tight turn. And we'll want a little more time maybe to lose this altitude from 11 to 2,000 feet. We'll see how it works out. But I'm probably going to self-vector our aircraft there. So I'll just show you where we are on the VATSIM map. And we'll come over here and we'll see that there's UAL 207. Here's that big island, and MYNN, where we're going at Nassau in the Bahamas, is right here. Once again, you can see all of this as well, and maybe even a little better, on simaware.ca. And go ahead and look up UAL 207. Okay. Everything is going according to plan. Everything is looking good. So now Miami Center is going to be off the air, but Miami Departure will be on. So I think we'll probably have that. You know what I did not do, though, is I did not write down the altimeter. But that's all right. We can go to our flight tablet. MYNN is in Nassau, the Bahamas, and it's a beautiful approach, aviation guy. So I'm sorry, I kind of lost track of the chat there for just a minute. You say you flew the WestJet 737 MAX 800. Oh, man, the experience was excellent. I got to tell you, even with all of Boeing's problems, I still absolutely love the 737-800 MAX and MAX series. I really, truly do. Okay, 3006. Let's go ahead and calculate. Our VREF is going to be 139. Yeah, MYNN is Nassau in the Bahamas. Thanks, Rich. And, yeah, southeast of Florida, David says. So, yep, y'all are absolutely right. Okay, let's get a couple of things plugged in here. So we're looking at VREF of 139, 3006. So we're going to be coming up on 18,000 feet here if we haven't already. No, we're not quite there just yet. So let's switch that to Barrow, and we're going to get 3006. Look at this to where you guys can see it. We're going to change to 3006 down here in our indication up here on the FS panel. Okay, 3006. So when we hit 18,000 feet in just a moment, which is our transition altitude, transition meaning transitioning from the altitude standard of 2992 to whatever the local barometric pressure is. And I'm going to use 200 feet as minimums because there were no procedures in my pad here for MYNN that I use to see about our airports. Okay, winds are 030 at 13 knots at MYNN. Scattered 4,000-foot clouds, and altimeter is 3006. So we have all of that, and I have that information here. So that's good. You know, I do have one other thing that I was going to show you here. Okay, I'll bring that up, and now I'll bring up this monitor. Once again, here you can see our aircraft. Here's Nassau, where we're going. It looks like there's a Southwest jet getting ready to take off for KSAV. So we may be able to hear them on the control here in just a minute. Oh, is that you, aviation guy? Are you there at Nassau? Did I miss that up there? Okay. Well, hey, if you're lining up, getting ready to leave when we're there, maybe we'll see you here in just a minute. I don't know if you'll be able to see our Star Wars livery or not, but if VATSIM will allow that livery resolution to be seen, but we'll at least be in a United aircraft. Okay, so once again, if we look down at our PFD, remember we were going to cross Ray J at 11,000 feet, so we're good on the glide path, and I am going to go ahead and manually clear us on down to about 100 feet. So we'll just keep on descending as we go on the flight path here. Oh, okay, aviation guy, I'm sorry. You know, it's hard to tell in the chat sometimes, but hey, you don't have MSFS. Are you an X-plane guy? Because I actually have X-plane as well. So we'll just continue on in here. Should be landing in, let me see. Let me go back to our progress chart. Let's see what our progress is. Okay, 1454. Okay, so we're going to be landing. Got to remember we're here in another 10, 12 minutes or so. Yeah, David, I tell you, not only do I want to take off from Nassau, I'd like to stop in the airplane, go get a hotel for the night, and get in the water in the morning. Or maybe even tonight, you know. A lot different than what we're experiencing here in Colorado for sure. Looking at my outdoor temperature, 43 degrees right now in the Denver metro area. So, yeah, I think as we look in here, we'll go ahead and come out here, and we'll go to our... Oh, let me set up one more thing while I'm thinking about it as we get in here. So we're going to come and we're going to select runway 32. We're going to go to the fix page, and we're going to get our fix rings in that will help not only to guide us in, but know what our speeds need to be. And when we deploy our flaps and landing gear and all that kind of thing. So let's get those programmed in. Let's go back to our progress page. We're going to have we're going to use up 600 gallons of fuel between now and then. So that'll put our landing fuel at 6.4. So we're going to come back over here. Our gross weight will be 124.5 minus 0.6, which is going to be 123.9. Will be our approximate gross weight at landing. 10,000 foot runway, runway 32. And we'll go ahead and select flaps 30 and a landing speed of 131. All right, that looks good. Okay, so we are right on our descent. Descent looks good. And so one other thing I'll show you here real quick is and why I'm probably going to end up vectoring us. Okay, drag required. It's going to want me to bring our speed down just a little bit, but we're pretty good there, so we don't really need too much speed brake. Okay, so now let's see, back to okay, we want to go to flight plan on the FS. Okay, we're going to do a step through here of the legs that we have at this time. And it's not going to let me there. Okay, there. See, we've got a real sharp turn at 5 miles out here at Dupe. So I'm going to fly us parallel, and we're going to turn back and go to direct to Dupe once we get about 8 or 9 or 10 miles out. So when we hit this point, I'm going to change our heading, and then we'll make a loop back towards DUPE. And we're going to get to the point of needing to do that here pretty soon. All right. Aviation Guy says GOFS is a multi-platform browser-based flight simulator. Oh, I'm not familiar with that. On the CZM WebGL Virtual Globe, free map is based on images taken by the Sentinel-2 satellite. I got to check that out, Aviation Guy. Yeah, I had not heard of that. David, you're getting snow in the next 3 to 5 hours? Ugh, yuck. So sorry. All right, let's see. Let me get my head together here a little bit. Okay. We're going to continue our descent. We're at 8,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and turn on our landing and taxi lights, which we normally would at 10,000 feet. Let's get our engine set to continuous in preparation for landing. Let me get our checklist out here. Okay, nav course and frequencies, those are set. We're going to be RNAV into 3-2, but we're going to vector a little bit. Everything is looking pretty good unless we have to lose a little more airspeed in here, which I don't really think that we will. I'm going to go ahead and arm the speed brake. So speed brake is now armed by the green indicator. Flaps we don't need just yet. Okay, so we're pretty good. Well, also, guys, we'll try to do a recording of the landing into Fort Myers. Won't be doing a recording of the landing into Nassau. Take a quick look at our flight progress there. Yeah, I sure wish that, I sure wish this were working up here. I've got to figure out what's going on with that. It's just not transferring all the information. So I'll have to work in the Volanta software and go with that. Okay, we're continuing on down. Nassau is going to be off to our left. I believe I kind of see the island off through the clouds. Aviation Guy, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Wonderful to meet you, and I hope you'll join us again. I'm going to more or less do this every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern will be our flight sim times. So I hope you'll join us again. See you, buddy. Appreciate it. And Nassau traffic, good evening. UAL 207 at about 18 miles out from Delphi. We'll be making a left turn for a 5-mile final on runway 32. UAL 207, Nassau traffic. Okay, we'll go ahead and announce that on the Unicom frequency. And I'm going to get ready here in just a minute to go ahead and give us a turn to the right. So we're going to fly parallel out from the runway. I'm going to wait till we hit the 10-mile. Yeah, I think Miami Center's gone, so going to be a quiet night in South Florida the rest of the night.
714.
Yeah, thanks, man. UAL 207. Okay. Yep, there's the island out in front of us. How about that? Looks really cool, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to start vectoring us. So we're going to do a heading select. And we're going to come onto a parallel course of about 145. So yeah, there's the airport down there. It's on this part of the island. Hey, Kevin, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, sure would appreciate that. But sorry to see Aviation Guy go for the evening, but, you know, we all have other lives and things to do. So there you go. All right, we're going to continue on in here. And I'm just going to get us some flight vectors going. We're already down to, actually, I think I'm going to stop us at about 1,000 feet. Because I'm also going to do a little reprogram here momentarily of our FMC. Because I am going to want us to go to Cuddly. Okay, I'm going to change our heading just a little bit. See, I really want to come to about 140. Want to be on 140. That's going to put us parallel to the runway, which we're not going to be able to see in the clouds. So hopefully we're not going to have too much IFR down lower. But once again, what did we see earlier? 4,000 on the cloud base, I think is what the weather report I read said. So let me go back and look at that. Yeah, scattered. Well, scattered at 400, so 400. Okay, we're going to continue on up this way, and then we're going to make a left-hand turn and go direct to Delpig. So once again, let's look at our screen here, and I'll go ahead and expand it out a little more. So glad Nathan told me that you guys can read this evening. So we're on this course right now. And in just a little bit, when we get up to about this 10-mile point, we're going to make a left-hand turn and come straight back to Delpig and then into the runway. Yep, so there's the island over there. And you can, I believe this is the airport. Look at the white caps on the water. Can you guys see that? Is it resolving it? That's pretty awesome. Definitely see some waves out there. Okay, we're at 2,800 feet. I'm going to hit our vertical speed just a little bit and start dropping us about 500 feet a minute. And we should be at about 1,600 feet at Dilpy. Actually, 2,000 feet at Cuddly. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to bring us to 2,000 feet here. Turn off the vertical speed. And we're going to get ready to make that left-hand turn here in just a minute. All right. Okay, so we're almost at that 10-mile post right here on the 10-mile ring.
2,500.
Yep, 2,500. Okay, so now we're going to go back and engage the LNAV and the VNAV. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Let's engage the LNAV Oh, you know what? That's right. I've got to be on the intercept heading. So let's turn that back here. And we're going to turn our intercept heading. You guys probably can't quite see it, but I'm going to turn us to a heading of 026. And once again, that puts us, if I can zoom in here right for you, at Dilpe. So we're making this left-hand turn, and we're going to go to Dilpe. So now I got to start watching the airplane a little bit. Okay, and we're going to hold 2,000 feet, and actually I'm going to start dropping us because at Dilpe we need to be at 1,600 feet. And I'm going to increase our heading to 015 so that we can intercept at Dilpe. We're going to keep our speed up. We're going to really manage our speed as we come in. There's the island over there. So everything's looking really good so far. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop our speed to about 225 as we make this turn. And we need a little bit more on the heading bug to get to Dilpe. So we're going to increase our turn. And we're going to come to 350. At the 7-mile point, we'll lower our gear. All right, let's go through our approach checklist. And we're actually pretty good. Everything's pretty well set. So we're coming around to our intercept. See if that VNAV and LNAV will let me engage it at the moment. Lateral navigation, no. That's quite all right because we're going to come to the heading. And actually I'm going to increase our heading a little bit more because I want to make Dilpe. And that should take us right into the runway now. So once again, I'm using this screen to guide myself in the heading. Okay, we should be on the intercept heading now. Okay, and there's our airport. Might actually go to fly this manually here in just a moment. Kind of let the airplane kind of stay happy with its own self there. Okay, we actually need just a little more. Okay, you get lined back up here. We're getting ready to disengage the autopilot, so we'll go ahead and bring up our throttle cam. And we're going to set our flaps 5. And we're going to bring our speed down and get our landing gear down. All right, I'm going to disengage the autopilot, and I have the airplane. Now, don't want to see that view just yet. Okay. Let's get that nose down. Okay, I'm going to go to flaps 30. We're going to start slowing her down. Nose up a little bit. Set my trim down a little bit. Okay, and in we come. Now, I don't have landing rate monitor up, but we should get a landing rate. We've got a really good wind off of our right nose at 21 knots. 1,000 feet, stabilized approach. And I am hand flying the airplane. Make a real quick turnaround here. Yeah, we're a little under on the airspeed, so I'm going to give her a little more.
500.
Okay, let's not loft up here too much.
400.
Okay, we're looking good.
300.
Staying on the center line, 2 red, 2 white. On the pappies on the left, I can just make them out. It's pretty sandy.
200. Minimums.
Continue and land.
Airspeed.
Yeah, I know. We're a little low on the airspeed there, but that's all right. We're coming in. All right.
50.
Down on the throttles.
30.
Let's fly her down the runway.
20. 10.
Yeah, we're getting a stall warning. All right. Landing rate 331. That's really pretty heavy. That's a firm landing. Fighting that wind. That wind was vicious. All right, let's slow down. 80 knots, stow the reversers. Okay, welcome to Nassau, guys. I tell you, one thing I am really looking forward to, and I practice a lot, but man, these guys that are doing some of the other streams are just landing these aircraft so smoothly, so pretty, and like minus 130 rates, and I actually had 2 of those over the weekend. Let's vacate the runway here. Nassau traffic, UAL 207, vacating the runway, going to terminal, going to do a quick turnaround and take off for Fort Myers, UAL 207. Okay, let's clean up the airplane here, stow the flaps, stow the speed brake. We're going to do a quick turnaround, get back out of here and head for Fort Myers. Let me ask you guys this, and I'll ask you in the chat and I'll let you vote. Would you rather just go to Miami? It'll be a little bit shorter. Or do you want to continue on to Fort Myers, which is probably another 20, 25 minutes. So I'll let you guys vote on it. You can tell me in the chat. All right, let's pull up here. All right, we're going to start our APU. Get the APU started. The APU bleed on. Okay, parking brake is on. Hey, Bernie, welcome. My buddy Bernie is here. Let's go back to the webcam screen here. Okay, we're going to get the engine shut down. Once the APU gets all fired up there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do our turnaround. So I'm going to come over here to my other computer. And I'm going to get our sim brief plan ready to go. So UAL, and we're going to continue on as 207. And let me show you guys this. I'll go ahead and bring it up to this screen. All right, looks like we can go to the APU gens. Put that away for just a moment, and I'll show you guys how we do this, and we'll get turned around here real quick. All right, APU gens are on. All right, we'll shut down the engines. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and turn our packs off for the moment. An isolation valve is on. Okay. That's all good. FS actions. Go to ground services. We'll set our chocks. Nope, set them. Don't turn them off. Request ground power. We'll get that going. I wonder if it will let me bring up air stairs. So let's request our air stairs. All right, it's going to do that. Yep, look, here come our air stairs to get our passengers. We'll deboard those passengers. Let me get out of the way to where you can see it. All right. Hey, Rich, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. See you next week. I really, really appreciate all you guys being here with us. And yeah, I thought I'd do another section of the stream tonight, just for fun, for those who might want to get in here, or you know, maybe can stay late, or maybe join us late. So that's good. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Great to see you. All right, let's go ahead and that door is open. All right. So we'll start getting passengers out of here. Waiting for the rear door to open. We'll take a look at that. Rear door is opening. All right, let's go ahead and get our next flight plan in here. So I'm going to bring this up to where you can see it. We don't need the whole world there. But let's go ahead and flight number 207. Okay, we're going to depart MYNN. Zoom in on that liver. That looks livery. Liver. Yeah, it's because something's covering up the Y in livery. Yeah. I'll do that back here in just a minute. All right, so we're going to go to KRSW, which is Fort Myers. All right, that's in there. That's all set. We're going to do the 737, of course. 737-700. There's our flight path from Nassau to Fort Myers. Good. All right. We'll go ahead and make it economy here, and we're going to generate our flight. So let's generate our flight. Bernice, all right, you're good. Kevin, you're good on the ride to Fort Myers. Good. Well, me too. That's kind of what I had planned for this evening, so that's what we'll do. All right, so we've got our flight plan there. Now you guys can see exactly what I do. I'm going to export that flight from SimBrief. All right, so that's done. We also need to bring up Volanta, so let's bring up Volanta. And we're going to start a new flight, and we're going to get our flight plan, add a flight plan. And we got it from SimBrief. All right, there we go. UAL 207 MYN to KRSW. That's good. So that part is laid in there and done. And we need to do the same on our VATSIM control. So let's go ahead and get our flight plan there. We're going to load in MYNN to KRSW. All right, and we're going to file the flight plan. That is now filed. So all of that is in good shape, and we are set to go. So once again, the APU gens are on, the engines are off. We're going to get in here, and we're going to leave the APU running. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back over to our iPad. We're going to request our new data from SimBrief. There we go, MYNN to KRSW. All right, that is set. Now we're going to come back over to our FMCs. Let's go FMC. And we're going to go to route, and we're going to request our flight plan. It's already here, MYNN to KRSW. We're going to select that. We're going to set our fuel. The block fuel is now set. We're going to set our payload. That means our passengers and baggage are already loaded on. Good. We're going to select our route. We're going to clear that message. We're going to go ahead and hit request one more time. We're going to wait for our route to come up in here. So we know that while we've taken a couple of shortcuts there, we can go ahead and close our doors because our passengers and baggage have been loaded by taking those shortcuts that they give us to be able to do. Okay, route uplink is ready, so we're going to go ahead and hit load, and it's loading. We're going to request our performance initialization here. Oh, we have to wait till the route uplink has loaded. All right, very good. Okay, we're going to activate that, so that is set. Now we're going to do our perf init request, and we're going to wait for that to load up. Okay, you wanted to look at the aircraft again real quick. Look at the livery. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This aircraft actually did fly for a couple of years, but doggone it, they took it away. They decided, I guess, that promotion was over. Sure would have loved. Look at the TIE fighters and everything on the side of it there. That's just crazy cool, isn't it? Yeah, I would have loved to have gotten to fly on that airplane. And of course, here's the Rebel X-Wings. Yeah, they've got several other of these specialty liveries going right now as well. Okay, it looks like our perf init uplink is ready, so we're going to load that and we're going to execute, so that's good. Our N1 limit, let's select our outside temperature, which we will go to our performance tool. And let's go ahead and import our weather again. Not enough information found. All right, so we're going to go with 63. So let's put that in. And actually, there's one more thing we can do. So Nathan, may the force be with you. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. May the force be with you. Let's go to METAR.TAF MYNN. Let's bring that up. We'll get some of our other information here. We'll take a look at that for MYNN. All right, it says right now VFR, no warnings, 13 knot wind. We had a little more than that coming in, 1018 HPA, no ceiling, so they've cleared that. They also, where's current temperature? I do not see current temperature on there. Not even in Celsius. Oh, wait, 21C. 21C. Okay. Yeah, and there we go. We'll notice on our FMC, 21C 63. Okay, so we are good. Let's go to our takeoff. Once again, on the calculations for that, let's just recalculate just to be safe. So we'll have flaps 1, 133, 133, and 136. Okay, so flaps 1, let's get that programmed in. Our center of gravity is going to be at 23.5, so we need a trim of 5.19. We'll come down to the trim wheel, and we'll bring that down to 5.19, and we're going to get out of Nassau here pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and turn on our fuel pumps. We're going to leave these engaged. Engines need to go to off. And to start the engines, the packs will have to be off and the isolation valve will be in auto. All right, so that is all set. Now we can start the engine sitting here once we get rid of our, let's get rid of our air stairs. Let's get them out of here so that we can go ahead. Once again, before I do that though, 133, 135, 136. So we'll go 133, 133, and 136. All right, very good. The takeoff references are set. Let's go ahead and get rid of our stairs. Actions. Doors. Doors are now closed. Ground services. Next page, next page. Stairs 1 and 2 we can release. We've got 96 passengers on this flight back. Okay, There we go. Look outside, and the air stairs are starting to retract and move away. Okay, very good. All right, let's see. Let's make sure we're on APU Gen, and we are, so we can get rid of our ground power, turn our oh, I guess I did not start the APU gens, but we had voltage up there. That's interesting. Not sure why that happened, but there we go. Okay, we're going to leave those on for the moment. Okay, we're set here. Let's turn our recirc fan off. That should be in the off position at the moment. Engine bleeds are ready. We'll go ahead and get the engine started after we check our cruise altitude. A lot of stuff to go through and prep here. So once again, let's fetch our new flight plan, which we have. Okay, so we're going to be going to 40,000 feet on the way back over to Fort Myers. So we'll have quite a descent there. So let's set that to 40,000. I believe the landing altitude is 100 at Fort Myers off the top of my head. We will definitely check that out in just a minute. Did not turn my lights off a few moments ago. So hope I didn't blind anybody. All right. Man, I'm so glad to see Nathan and Rich and Kevin and Bernice and David and Graham still here. Tom and Bernie. Tom, are you still here? I wonder. KD40T, are you still with us? A little bit longer flight tonight, Tom. So we'll be getting out of here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the flight directors. So let's cycle the flight directors as we get ready to go. We know that our course and heading are going to be approximately 320, so we'll go ahead and set that up. Our altitude, we don't have a controller that's going to vector us to another altitude, so we're going to go ahead and bring that up to 40,000 feet. Now, for some reason, I've had the simulator have a hard time getting this airplane up to 40,000 feet, but we'll see what happens as we go on here. Okay, back to the checklist. We know that we are at the engine start portion of the checklist here. So let's pull the checklist up. All right, we are ready for engine start. We're going to start them right here. So fuel pumps are on, packs are off, isolation valve is off, engine 2 start switch. Let's go to ground. And she's coming alive here. Watching for these numbers to start increasing. Okay, and that means that we're missing something because we're not getting an engine start. So let's, oh, and I know exactly what it is too. We got to put the flight plan in, guys. So let's go to our departure airport. It's going to be runway 32. And let's look at our flight plan one more time for that. So yeah, MYNN, runway 32, Javis and Nico. So I don't believe it's, yeah, there we go. It actually is giving me the transition. All right, that's good. So when we arrive in Fort Myers, runway 06, we'll do the ILS 06, and that will be a direct approach. And it's actually the same exact thing that I did last night. All right, let's check our legs. We've got one discontinuity. Let's go back to that. Okay, then runway 06. All right, now we are ready for engine start. So let's go back upstairs. Let's stow this. And let's go to ground. And let's get ready to now watch the engine start. And or not. Okay, still no engine start. All right, let me figure out what's going on here. What am I missing? Let's see. So the APU gen is on. Fuel pumps are on. Yaw damper needs to be on, but that shouldn't cause that problem. Turn our engine bleeds off. Isolation, oh, packs. There we go. I thought I had the packs turned off, but I do not. All right, now we'll get engine start. All right, one more time. Let's go to ground. Yep, when those packs are running, the engine will not. And see, we're getting engine start now. There we go. All right, when we get up to 25% on the N1, we'll introduce fuel. Yeah, guys, it's been kind of a long day for me, too. So a little bit, Nathan, better call tech support. Well, I called you, man. Yeah, so let's go ahead and introduce fuel to engine number 2. We'll watch the N1 numbers start to climb here and listen to that sound. Okay, engine number 2 is starting. Engine number 1's got a little residual going on there, so let's get in here and start him up. And once again, let's watch for our N1 25% point. And then we're going to flip up the fuel introduction switch here at the bottom. And I'm going to do that on my Bravo throttle quadrant. All right, there we go. Fuel up, and engine number 1 is getting started. Yeah, you know, Nathan, call tech support when all else fails, right? Yeah, I've just got to go back through things a little more thoroughly there. I did not do every item on the checklist. I did most of that from memory. All right, so let's get back in here. Let's release our ground power. Okay, ground power release, because we don't want that there, because we're going to drive straight out and make a left turn here. So we're almost ready to go. Now let's go back through the engine start checklist, all right? The next thing that we need to do is the engine gens are ready to go, so we're going to turn those on, engine gens, and we're going to check the voltage up here. Get out of the way of the menu. Okay, voltage on Gen 1 looks good. Voltage and amps on Gen 2 looks good, so we are all set there. We can turn the packs back on and bring the isolation valve to auto, recirc on, and engine bleeds on. Okay, we can turn off the APU bleed. We can come down and turn off the APU, which I do with the switches on my throttle quadrant. All right, everything is good. APU will be turning off. I'm going to go ahead and switch the engines into continuous in anticipation of takeoff. Get our anti-collision lights on, and we're going to announce for taxi. Okay, we're going to set our flaps to flaps 1 for takeoff. Elevator trim is set. All right, everything else is set. Good. And auto throttle on. Auto brakes. We're going to go to RTO, and I'm going to do that on my switch down here. So that is now set. Flaps are at 1. We are ready for taxi, so let's go ahead and call Nassau traffic. Nassau traffic, UAL 207, ready for taxi to runway 32. Nassau traffic, UAL 207. Yeah, thank goodness for the checklist is right, Kevin. You know, if I don't use the checklist, I tend to forget things. Even though you've done this a million times, there's always something you're going to forget. All right, we're going to remove the wheel chocks. We're going to go to our progress page. And guys, we are ready to get the heck out of Dodge, or in this case, Nassau. Okay, going to make a sharp turn to the left. Remember to click the import flight plan on Volanta. Destination is not showing up. Yeah, you're right. You know, Graham, let me get this airplane turned around here, because I don't know if I can do. I thought I did do that import on Volanta, but I guess not. Okay. Get back inside the aircraft to where I can see where I'm driving. Yeah, then we'll do that import, you're right. Yeah, it's showing MYNN to somewhere, but we don't know where somewhere is, do we? Still learning how to use Volanta. I thought, let's see, I've got active flight plan. Okay, we'll get down here. Let's get over on the taxiway as well. Okay, I have imported it. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's showing up there. I wish I could figure out how to get the speeds to go. Well, Graham, see if you can research how to get Volanta. My OBS, my streaming software is on another computer. I use a separate streaming computer. It is not on the flight sim computer because I don't want to overload the flight sim computer. I wanted a separate streaming computer, and I don't know that it's not importing, you know, any of the heading altitude or speed or the progress bar down at the bottom there. So far I've not been able to make that work. All right, let's get taxied on down there. I'm going to speed up our taxi a little bit so we can get in the air and get on the way to RSW. That's kind of a fun approach too, because you come right in over Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel Island and all that area that got hurricane hit last year. Remember that hurricane that chomped up everything through there? Yeah, Volanta does have really nice maps, Graham. You're absolutely right. Let me get a drink here, guys, while we're cruising down the taxiway. Yeah, Kevin, exactly. Wouldn't it be a bummer being a pilot and fly over beautiful beaches and just have to take off and keep going? But, you know, sometimes these guys got to do turnarounds like this. Usually they take, what, 30, 35, 40 minutes for a turnaround. Being as we're streaming and it's a flight sim stream, I have tried to do it a lot faster, of course. All right. We'll get down here, and I had a guy on a 10-mile approach last night when I did this flight. And I just don't know why it's given me the airport and destination, but not showing speed or flight progress. Well, we'll keep working on it. It's really cool. I don't know if you could see it outside the right side window there. But you see the windsock? See the windsock over here? Looks like the wind's shifting around a little bit too. Okay, we're gonna get out of here and roll on out, guys. You know, get her done. Get her in the air. Nassau Unicom, Nassau traffic, UAL 207 going to line up on runway 32, do a couple of other checks, and then we'll announce for takeoff. Going to line up runway 32, UAL 207, Nassau traffic. All right, so let's get down here. Graham says real sunshine, not seen that in a while. Yeah, man, you guys up there in Scotland and Ireland and that north end of the island, I don't know how you guys do it. It would be so cloudy and gray up there all the time. I would be, I don't know, I'd be craving sunshine. I just don't know that I could. It's bad enough in Colorado. It really, truly is. You know, when it goes days without sunshine and it's cold, just hate that. Okay, we're going to line up here on 3-2 just real quick to get us turned around there. Okay, I'm going to bring us to a break. We're going to turn on our landing lights. Landing lights are on. Engine switches to continuous. That looks good. We've got our everything set. We need to get this isolation valve, though, set to auto. Excuse me. And I had the sneeze there. Let's bring up our throttle cam. All right. Let's reset our engine. Fuel flow rate, that is reset. Our brakes are to RTO. Rest of the checklist. Let's reset our clock, so we're going to reset the clock. Letting us roll ahead there a little bit. Okay, clock is reset and started. Let's go ahead, power up, and let's go toga. Takeoff, go around power. Takeoff power is set. Got to get our auto throttle back on again. Slight nose down pressure. Airspeed's alive.
Airspeed alive.
Yep, there you go. All right.
80 knots.
Check.
Rotate. V2.
Rotate. Oh, man, that wind carried me off. You see that guy?
Positive rate of climb.
Okay, gear up. Wow. Yeah, 17-knot wind right off that right nose. That was a bit of a shocker. I did not expect it to grab me like that, and I should have. Climbing out at kind of a steep rate here. Okay, we're going to start nosing over a little bit, pick up some more speed. All right, let's try to engage our LNAV and VNAV. Okay, I'm going to hand fly this thing for a while. Okay, we're set to 40,000 feet. Did not mean to do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start making our left-hand turn here. Get you outside for a view of the aircraft there. There's the island in the airport we're leaving. And goodbye, Nassau. All right, go ahead and bring you guys back up in the flight deck here. And you can see I'm following our magenta indicators on the PFD on the primary flight display. We're through 5,100 feet. Need to start coming back up just a little bit there. All right. On our way to RSW. Yeah, I sure wish that display would update, but disappointed in that. You see some of the other flight sim streamers using that. It's really cool that you can kind of follow the flight that way. Okay, I'm still hand flying the airplane. We're at 6,769, 7,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get our auto brakes to RTO. Let's get our gear in the off position. And we'll make a quick trip back to Florida. Yeah, Grant, 13 miles northeast of Glasgow. I've got to look you up. I've got to look that up on a map. Kevin says that's awesome. My wife spent some time in Glasgow. She loved it. Always wanted to go back. Yeah, my wife would love to go too. So I tell you what, Graham, if we ever come to Scotland, we'll have to definitely try to get together there. That would be really awesome, wouldn't it? Okay, 9,300. Nate, you dropping out? Hey, buddy, thanks for being here. Oh, my God, I'm so glad you came, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you really enjoyed it, and we'll talk here soon on Teams or something, right? Nate, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Aviation Guy's back too. Aviation Guy, all right. We landed in Nassau and we just took off and we're headed for Fort Myers, Florida. Okay, through 10,000 feet, let's go ahead and arm our autopilot. Let's go up top here and get our landing lights and taxi lights off, so those are good. Let's take a quick look upstairs, make everything's good. Our engines will go to off, and everything looks good on the upper panel. So there we go. We'll take a step back here, do a little stretch, and we'll make our way along here. So once again, let's see. Let's do a search on this. Okay, there we are. Okay, I'll bring up this screen for you. You can see how we came in and looped down and around, came back in and landed. Now we're on the way back out. Once again, simaware.ca. Look up UAL 207. And our flight path is going to take us across the Keys and across the Everglades and then up and into Fort Myers. Nassau traffic, UAL 207, 14,500 feet, headed for Nico and then Tinky. Nassau traffic, UAL 207. Okay, we'll keep our flight path in line here and get going. Let's get some views outside the aircraft. So this is the big, I'm not sure what they call this island. You know, I'm going to have to look up some of my geography and probably try to get to know this area a little bit better. That would probably be a real good idea. Whatever this big island of the Bahamas is, the aircraft is fire. Aviation Guy going from Atlanta to Miami. Very cool, very cool. You're using that other simulation that you told us about earlier. Is that what you're using in GODS? Okay, I've got to look. I will look that up after the flight sim stream tonight. Okay, so our clock says, do the liveries work in GOFS? That would be interesting. Yeah. Oh, right on. Yeah, you've got me interested in that. Okay, let's see. I was going to look for something. Let's make sure that our checklist is done for after takeoff. So flaps are up. Autopilot is engaged. Auto brake is off. Gear lever set to off. All the other lights are off. Cabin pressure, let's check that. Cabin pressure is pressurizing normally. That looks good. Altimeter, we're at 18,000 feet, so it's time to set that. You'll notice that I get lit up in orange here, so we need to set that to our standard altitude, altimeter of 29092. Okay, we are good. Okay, I'll show you guys the Volanta map here. Just real quick. So here we are heading on the north end of the Lucayan Archipelago. There we go. That's a mouthful this time of night. Yeah, and our flight path out, it looks like we were right in between Delray Beach and Highland Beach. Okay, that's good. This map actually does have some names on it. So we're going to come around here, go around the Keys, southern part of the Everglades, and come in here at RSW. Oh, that actually, I didn't know that. No, this is cool. Okay, it gives us information on what's going on. I wonder if it'll list me on there later, because this will be the second flight into RSW that I've done on Volanta. I did not put my flight up tonight on, come on, why is that not working? That's not what I want. I want to close it. Let's get that back over to this screen. My mouse is being a little flaky. Okay, there we go. Get that out of the way of our cockpit screen. Okay, I'm going to set up my other iPad over here. I use flightplan.go on this iPad, and it also tracks the aircraft. It gives me information on the airports and everything, because I do not have flight, or what is it? ForeFlight. I do not have ForeFlight. However, this flightplan.go is very similar to that, and it works in the same manner. Okay, KRSW. Let's see what we've got going on at KRSW here tonight. And we will also look up KRSW. You know, we're using the ILS onto runway 6. So we'll start setting up for that in just a moment. So I'm going to come over here to this computer and go KRSW. And then I'm going to show this to you guys. So at KRSW, Southwest Florida International, 0 degrees centigrade. Now, isn't that 32 degrees? It's freezing. Yeah, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's freezing down in Florida. 3018 on the altimeter. Wind is going to be directly off runway 24. Guys, I got to get this landing smooth. I got to get this landing smooth tonight. Under minus 200. That's my goal. It's always going to be my goal to be under minus 200. And we had a, what? Volanta will tell me. What was it on that landing a little while ago? I think it was like 311 or some pool, something like that. Okay, yeah, it's not telling me. I think there's a way to find it in there, but I'm not sure. But it was over 300, wasn't it? All right, I tell you what. You guys keep talking about this GEOFS in the chat. I'm gonna take a quick look at it here real quick. So I'll give you guys this. I'm gonna look this up over here. GEOFS. Free online flight simulator. Okay, let's bring that up here on monitor 2. Okay, there you go. Interesting. Aviation guy, what do you use for flight controls, though? So it's downloadable. Interesting. Yeah. I'll have to read some more about this. What what do you, aviation guy, what do you use for flight controls? I'd be real curious to know that. Guys, I'm going to give you an outside view for a minute. I need to get some water, so hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, back up on the flight deck. You know, when you sit here and you talk for an hour or two, you get real dry. I got to start taking some more water with me. This is really the first time I've done a double flight on the flight sim stream. Now, we've got some land in view up there, so that's got to be... Oh, no, that's not land. That's the heaters on the aircraft window. Let's look outside here. Yeah, I don't see Florida just yet. Don't see Florida just yet. But we're not too terribly far away. Keyboard and mouse. Wow. So, I mean, without some flight controls, it seems like that would be kind of difficult, aviation guy. Yeah, that would definitely be real interesting there. One of the other things that I want to do with my flight sim stream here is I want to set up a green screen behind me so that I can make it look like I'm just either me or look like I'm sitting in the cockpit with a cockpit behind me. That would be great. Instead of you guys getting to see my room and office, which is okay, but. There you go. One aviation guy, you got to jump out. Hey, man, see ya. Thanks for being here. Can't thank you enough. Hope you subscribe and smash that thumbs up button. That would be great. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, we'll have to check out that for sure. The Accessible Flight Simulator. Yeah, if you were going to stick around, I got a couple of more questions for you, but have a good night, man. We'll catch up with you next time. Okay? You say, wait. All right. Hey, guys, by the way, this is a homebrew aviation air set. I've got a pair of COS Pro 4As. Oh, you forgot to tell something? All right. Well, we're standing by. You know, that's the one thing that I don't like about chat. I'd actually like to be chatting with you guys. I'd actually like for us to be talking. We may have to figure out some way to set up Discord and Discord audio. But yeah, aviation guy, go ahead. We're all ears here. And I got to look for my top of descent. There we are. We're about 90 miles from top of descent. You're using the same aircraft. Okay. All right, buddy. Well, thank you again. Appreciate you being here, man. Have a good night. Bye. We'll continue on. So you guys that are still with me here, you might put in the chat window, what do you got going on? What are your hobbies? What are your favorite things? Who's going to win the Super Bowl this weekend? I'm a Chiefs guy. Got to be a Chiefs guy. I would be more of a Broncos guy, but they've sucked so bad for so long. Today's date for somebody catching this stream in a few years is February 7th, 2024. And the Denver Broncos, they're just, as Uncle Jed would say, pitiful. Just pitiful. And I always have been a Chiefs fan, except when they were playing the Broncos. But the Broncos have not been competition for them for the past couple of years, of course. So anyway, I'm hoping that the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl this coming Sunday. So what do you guys think? Those of you who are there in the chat would like to know who you're going to pick to win, or maybe you don't give a darn. I don't give a darn. That could very well be the case. All right, so we're at 34,000 feet. I do not know why the aircraft will not go to the programmed 40,000 feet. So it says FIPES is 203 miles. Let's look at our progress page. We're going to be landing at 1623. So we're at 1546. So we're about what? What did I say? Come on back here. 1623. That seems about right. Okay, so 623 and 14 is 37. So we're about 37 minutes out from landing. All right, very good. Be a good night of flying. Good night of flying. Next week we'll do something fun too. And I am going to make flights in other aircrafts too. We'll do the DC-3 some more for sure. Got to do the DC-3 for some shorter hops. We'll do the TBM 930. As a matter of fact, I want to take a Colorado tour. Maybe we'll make it a two or three part tour of the entire state of Colorado in the TBM 930. That'll be fun. We'll get to land at the mountain airports and all that kind of thing. And then we'll do some flying around. I told my wife that sometime I'm going to fly the 737-900 anyway around the world. We're going to fly it around the world in the flight simulator, and I should probably either record those or we could do, some short hops. I don't care if it takes a long time. So let's see. Graham 49ers says 49ers won too many times. I'll go for the Chiefs. I want the Chiefs to win 2 in a row. I want Patrick Mahomes and Coach Andy Reid to win 2 in a row. I really, really do. Kevin says, I'm from the Bay originally. So, well, Kevin, hey, you got to be for your Niners then, right? Can't blame you a bit. Can't blame you a bit, my friend. So there you go. Well, I would wish you good luck, but I wouldn't really mean it, so. Okay, there we are, out over the strait, whatever they call this strait here, between the archipelago that I can't pronounce and the Keys of Florida. And once again, we're heading for KRSW. So up here is our final destinations. Oh, wait, the camera's in the way. Got to remember that when I'm doing that. Let's do that. Okay, so here we are right now, and we're heading for KRSW. So it's almost a loop, as it were, between from where we took off in Tampa, which is going to be back up here. So almost a loop around the southern end of Florida. And of course, those of you who may remember on our flight stream, I don't know how many weeks ago necessarily, we flew the TBM 930 from Fort Lauderdale, flew down the Florida Keys. If you haven't had a chance to catch that stream, we also did a touch and go at Homestead. But if you haven't caught that stream, you can go back and replay that on my Flight Sim channel. So that'll be fun. Let's see, we're about 70 miles away from top of descent. So 70 miles away here. All right, let's see if there's a way that I can do this. Show you a picture of the Flight Sim room here. Let me see if I can find that on the other computer over here. Thought I had that to where I could get to it easy enough. Oh, good. Okay. Let me pull this up, and I'll put this on the screen for you. But here is a picture of where I'm sitting. So, of course, the main screen for me right here, the screen that I'm watching screen that I'm watching the stream on for you. I've got my other auxiliary screen to the right where I have the VATSIM information and everything there. We'll also set up the flight recorder on that in a little while. And if we zoom in here, of course, you can see the Bravo throttle quadrant and the Alpha flight yoke. And then I do have instrumentation on the screen here in front of me so that I can see that when we're flying. And here's my informational iPad that you can tell right now set to St. Louis. And this picture, my audio mixer underneath here that is mixing the audio that you guys are hearing. And then I run OBS on this computer over here. And I actually have one other screen out of view here that you can't quite see. My lovely painting of Colorado 1 in the Colorado Mountains that my good friend Cynthia Schumann did for me. Cynthia and Paul are some of my best friends in the world. And so anyway, there is my flight stream set up. You can't see the rudder pedals down here, but you can see the blue computer, the flight sim computer down here. So that's my actual PC that's running the flight simulator. All right, so there you go. I've been meaning to show you guys that for a while. So got that, and hopefully you got to have a good look at that. Okay, top of descent, 50 miles off. And we'll be there pretty doggone shortly. Show you guys the Volanta map once again here. So we're getting over here close to the Florida Keys and Homestead, and we'll fly right over the Everglades, so we don't want to crash in there, do we? I don't think so. Let's take another look outside the aircraft here. Southern Florida is kind of covering some clouds. There's Miami off in the distance there. And nothing but ocean out behind us. There's looks like there's a few airplanes gonna land at Miami International Airport. If I can get my tang untangled. So you got some aircraft coming in here. Hopefully you guys can read that on your screen. All right. Well, Graham, it's getting late for you. I appreciate you staying with us through our second part of the flight here tonight. Really appreciate your time and effort in being with us here. What time is it in Scotland there, Graham? Kevin says, makes me want to get all set up. Well, Kevin, you know, let me know if I can ever be of any service. My email address is over there. Let's see. Let me point the right direction. Yeah, over there in the corner. Captain Jack Flight Sim at Outlook.com. Let me know if I can be of any help at any time. Certainly be glad to do that. Pretty. I've worked a long time, yeah, to get this set up the way it is. Saved a lot of money, sold some other ham radio items and whatnot to be able to set this up in this manner. So yeah, I'm really fortunate to be able to have that set up that way. Okay, let's start doing a little setup here for our approach. We are going to need an approach of 058. So let's go ahead and set 058 on our courses. That will be our approach course to runway 6. I'm going to go ahead and take our heading to that now. We may need to change that if I have to do some manual flying here, but we'll get set for that at the moment. Let's get the first officer's course set to 058. All right, let's look down at our progress. So 7.6 and 6.5 on the fuel, 6.5 on the fuel when we land. So that's 1.1. So let's go to our approach reference. So 1.1 is going to be 118.3 on the gross weight when we land. So let's insert that there. Set flaps 30 at, you know, we really aren't going to need that, but let's go ahead and set it anyway Our ILS radio needs to be set to 111.5. Let's come down here, and we're going to set our radio to 111.5. Make that active. That's good. Do the second with the nav radio. And once again, I'll show you this on this cam. I'm setting, I got to get it to take. Setting that frequency, 111.5, and we're going to hit it to active. And now it's going to be over here, and we can also see that then on the radios here. I'm going to turn on the volume so we can maybe hear the CW identifier when we get closer in. Okay, we may see the VOR come active with that, but we're not quite in range of it just yet. Okay, we're also coming up on our top of descent in 20 miles. So we'll watch for that TD to come in here. And our approach chart says that our ILS entry point is at 1,500 feet. I'm going to get set up for a way to you guys to be able to see that as well. If I had a subscription to Navigraph, I could show you that on the iPad here. So let's go ahead and look at our landing dispatch and see if we get agreeable numbers here. So we're going to be landing on runway 32. Elevation is 13 feet. Long runway, that's good. Current outside temperature, we'll import the weather, is 70. 3006, let's do our V calculations. Okay, I'm not sure why it gave that to me because we're seeing it. Okay, so 139 is our VREF, so we'll come back over. Not up there, down here. And so this is telling us VREF is 132. So we're going to go with that. Okay, some of the pre-landing checklist is done there from memory. Let's see, Kevin says it would be awesome to have a setup that can switch between F1 and aviation. What's F1, Kevin? What are you referring to? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. And okay, we are going to get set up to record this landing so that we can have a playback. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the flight, or at least start up the software for the flight recorder. Okay, good. Our top of descent is less than 10 miles away. And once again, we're watching that here on the PFD. So top of descent, 10 miles. We're going to lower our altitude since we don't have somebody giving us altitudes to go to. We're going to go ahead and set that for 1,500 because that's the entry point for the approach, is at that altitude. Okay, so 1,500, that is set. Okay, our approach minimums, our barometer, our approach minimums is going to be 200. So we have that set. Our barometer is set for 200. Our VREF is set for flaps 30 and speed of 128. All right, so now all we got to do is wait for top of descent, which is going to be less than 5 miles away. Let's take another great look out the aircraft at the Everglades. Wonder how many gators and snakes you see down there, huh? Kind of see the Florida Keys off in the distance. The clouds kind of obscured them when we were a little further back. And we're essentially heading for this area right up here. All right, we have begun our descent. Okay, and we're coming back in on the descent path. Good. Everything looks good there. Watch our airspeed. Okay. All right, I've got a master caution. Let's reset that. Not sure what's going on. Let's go up top here and just make sure that everything looks good. What have we got? Off scheduled descent. Well, I don't think, well, it's probably because of we never made it up to 40,000 feet. I'm going to reset this for 3-4. I am not sure why the aircraft did not want to go to 40,000 feet. I'm going to have to read up on that. Oh, Formula One racing. Okay, Kevin, F1. I guess I should have known that, but I didn't. So, I guess I'm not a big race fan, although, believe it or not, I grew up in the South. I should be a NASCAR fan, but I guess I'm not really. They're making another turn to the left. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. But no, I'm just joking. That's a Formula One racing, though. It was really cool. We got to actually have a Denver Grand Prix one year way back, and that was really quite an experience for folks here in Denver. It was quite something. All right, let's go ahead and arm our speed brake, and we're going to look for the green indicator there. So I'm going to use my lever on my Bravo flight quadrant. And we'll continue our descent here into Fort Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our descent into Fort Myers. Please return to your seats. I never turned the seatbelt light off, so those of you who had to go to the bathroom, now you really got to wait. All right. Have some fun. Have some fun with that. Once again, guys, can't thank you enough for being here. Can't thank you enough for being here. It's a joy to share this with you and to have a good time flying. I love flying just by my own self there too, but it's fun when you can share it with people. It truly is. We'll get down into Fort Myers. We'll record our landing. We'll take a look or two at it. Hopefully, I get a little bit smoother landing rate this time. Man, I had 3 or 4 straight under minus 190, 150, even a 132, minus 132 feet per second landing. But man, the past few flights here, I just have not been able to set her down smoothly. Now, you know, flight simmers worry more about that landing score than real pilots do. Real pilots want to be able to land at a certain G-force so that passengers aren't uncomfortable, which makes absolute sense. So, in the real world of thinking of things, that last landing a little while ago, even with a minus 311, was, you know, really overall just fine. It was just fine. So Graham and Kevin, you guys have a conversation going on about racing. Good for you. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look outside the airplane again. Let's look out the right wing to start with. Once again, looking down on the Everglades there. And we can tell that we're descending down. Not too much to see out there except ocean, with the exception of a little view back towards the southern end of the peninsula there. And this is the Naples, Florida area, and Fort Myers is right up in here. Not many people or anything except critters and snakes and all sorts of nasty little creepy crawlies down in that area. Okay, let's get back up on the flight deck here, and all right, we're coming up on Fippies, I guess it is. And we're a little bit above our glide path here. So I think I'm going to make just a minute adjustment in that. Going to go to our vertical speed and come down at about 1,500 feet per minute. No, we're going to actually need to go more. We're getting off our descent path here for some reason. So we'll get a little more descent in there. Our speed is fine. All right, now we can see this is starting to come back up where it needs to be. Watching that indicator, and when it gets up there towards 0, we'll go ahead and re-engage the VNAV. Okay. That puts us right back on the descent mark. That's one thing you got to kind of watch out for as you're making these descents. Looks good. Oh, good flight tonight. Yeah, this is fun. This is really a lot of fun doing a double leg. You know, a lot of the other flight streamers that I watch do double legs, and they sometimes stream for 3 and 4 hours even. Now that I'm looking at it, it's almost 9 o'clock Mountain Time, so we've been flying for a solid good. Let's see, we got started taxiing about 6:45 Mountain Time. It's coming up on 9 o'clock. Kevin says, I respect it. I'm a big fan of all things Red Bull, but I do like Lewis, or who's that? There's a stupid little icon in the way here. Yeah, they put this icon right in the way to where the last couple of words of your chat I can't quite read. Graham, yeah, buddy, I don't blame you. It's late. Thanks for being here. You know, meet the wife when she gets up, not go to bed. Really enjoyed having you here too, Graham. Thank you. God bless you, man. Good night. Bye. Take care. We'll look for you next week. We're trying to make this a regular habit every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Mountain Time. Okay, we hit Fipes there, and we're at 18,000 feet, and once again, we are above the program glide slope, so we're going to have to start getting this bird down here. She got to go down. Okay, now we're descending back to where we need to be. And once again, I did not preset the altimeter, so I've got to get that set right. I know it was 3006, I think. Let me look back over here. Oh, 3.18. Okay, no, 3.18. So we got to get 3.18 in the altimeter. And I just set that. Sorry I didn't do that to where you guys could see it. And we should be getting back to our glide slope here pretty soon. And we're descending at about 3,000 feet a minute now, and we should be able to re-engage the VNAV and be on track for our landing. That does happen, so that's good. Keep watching everything here and monitoring systems. Our airspeed is good. Once again, our radios, our nav radios are set to 111.5, which is our ILS approach. Approach course is 058. Those are set. We're just rechecking everything. Touchdown zone on the runway is going to be about 27 feet above sea level. All right. I'm happy with everything. Are you? Looks good. Yeah, Graham, you can check the ending tomorrow night. That's for sure. You can always go back and replay it. That's awesome. Okay, coming through 13,900 feet. Everything's looking just fine on the descent here. Let's go back to the checklist. Make sure that everything is set. Okay. Engine 1 and 2 start modes need to go to continuous. The reason we do that is if we have an engine stop, if an engine stops, we can go ahead. That goes actually keeps everything running the way it's supposed to be and tries to auto restart the engine. I think that's one thing I'm not 100% sure about. I got to learn about that, but there we go. Okay, we are good. The record software is ready to be started. We'll do that when we're on our final approach. So, now that we know that we're going to go ahead and land on this runway. Okay, runway 06, let's set our fixed rings. Okay, 5-mile ring, 10-mile ring, and 192 we're going to practice some holds where we have to hold at a certain point in altitude. Okay, we're flying over the city of Naples, Florida right now. See, there's Naples. And Fort Myers is right up here, and RSW is over here. Okay, coming through 10,600 feet. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights. We'll turn on the taxi lights as well. Okay, we're a little above the glide path, but the airplane should correct herself here in just a minute, so we're a little above the glide path here. Okay, and she's coming back into where she should be. And you can see here at Tropic, we're going to make a right-hand turn into runway 06 with about a 10-mile final. All right. Looking down on the intercoastal waters there around the town of Naples, Florida. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? There's Naples Airport. Man, I tell you what, love to fly to RSW, which I've done from Denver. Flew from Denver to Fort Myers there, and would love to come down here somewhere and rent a VRBO on the beach. Yeah, that would be awesome. Can't get over how pretty this airplane is. Okay, let's get back up on the flight deck and make sure we're paying attention to everything here. Really want to get this landing good tonight. Really, really do. So RSW weather, let's go back to monitor 2 here. The monitor 2, let's do a refresh. This way I can show you guys. So the wind is going to be right due on the head, but a 10-knot wind. So we got to watch for a little bit of lifting and watch our airspeed as we're going in, because that will affect how we set down. Yeah, not really any crosswind to speak of. So we're set to go. There's Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel Island off over this direction. And when that hurricane came through last year, it really just knocked the heck out of this causeway across here. And they were having to rebuild it. My wife and I and some of our kids went on a vacation to Florida here recently, and we had a wonderful evening riding a pontoon boat around these islands through here, and we actually got to come out right here and play on that beach with the pontoon boat there. And then we rode the pontoon boat back up to its point of origin. Great fun. Kevin, hey, buddy, thank you for being here. Yeah, you can go back and replay the landing later. Thank you for being here. Wonderful to have you on the stream. Be sure to drop me an email line if I could be of any service anytime. Be happy to talk with you, and God bless you, and thanks for being here. Okay, when we turn at Tropic, T-R-O-P-C here, so we'll come down here and take a look at this. When we turn at Tropic, we'll go ahead and announce that we're on a 10-mile final for runway 06. So we're coming up on that pretty quick. So may not be able to pay quite as much attention to the chat here, but let's go ahead and get in here, and we'll get off the aircraft, and everybody can get to their hotels or their beds, wherever you are. And call it a night, because yeah, here in Denver, Colorado, on the 7th of February 2024, it's 9:08 p.m. as we fly in the daylight here in the Florida. And I think that's the reason we're not seeing too many other aircraft too, is because it's 2 hours later on the East Coast in the Eastern time zone. But it's been a fun flight. Tampa to Nassau, Nassau back to Fort Myers here. You see Fort Myers Beach. This is the Cape Coral area, which is where when we came, that's where we stayed. So that was nice. All right, you know, our speed's coming down nicely. We're looking pretty good on that. We'll start really managing our speed on the 10-mile final. But the aircraft is slowing up per the flight plan just fine. And then we'll get on down to about 1,500 feet, or maybe a little less, and we'll engage the autopilot. Kind of wish that we could take a closer look at Fort Myers Beach, but we're making the turn for a 10-mile final. Fort Myers traffic, United 207, 10-mile final at Tropic for runway 06. UAL 207, Fort Myers traffic. Okay, let's go ahead and give flaps 1, and I'm going to manually manage the speed for the moment. Just get her slowed down a little bit, and you can see the runway off in the distance. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our landing rate monitor, because I want to see what it says about us. Do you guys want to guess on the landing rate? You can go ahead and put that in chat. I notice that they do that. I notice that they do that a lot on the other simulator stream guys. So if you want to guess what our landing rate's going to be, I'm going to be really optimistic, and I'm going to go for minus 190. Minus 190. That's what I'm going to shoot for. We've got a good headwind. There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to land this airplane smoothly. So we're going to let her keep managing the speed herself here. And we're holding glide slope and the localizer. We're right on that. We're going to go ahead and hit our approach here at, won't hurt us actually to go ahead and arm it. So let's go ahead and arm the approach. Okay, approach is armed. You saw the indicators change to the magenta diamonds. And the aircraft is managing her speed. All right, we're 5 miles out. Let's get the gear down. Okay, gear coming down and locked and 3 green. Okay, we'll come to the throttle cam. Enjoy the landing, guys. You see our VREF again was flaps 30 and 128. So I'm going to bring our flaps to 15, flaps 15. And we're going to get our speed down.
1,000.
Go ahead and speed brake us a little bit. Approach is looking good. Let's get our auto brakes set. It's a long runway, so we're going to go with auto brakes too. So the terminal is there on the left. Okay, stabilized approach. We're going to set our missed altitude for 2,000 feet. That looks good. Okay, we're going to go flaps 30.
500.
And I have the throttles. And I have the aircraft. My aircraft. A little high. Get the nose down some. There we go. 2 white, 2 red.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue and land. Oh, we're looking really good, guys.
100.
Okay, there we go over
50.
the threshold. Eyes to the end of the runway. Throttles back.
20.
Hold that
10.
nose up. 331. Minus 298 firm landing. I'm not even going to use the reversers on this because we're going to slow down nicely as it is. Man, I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, the landing rate monitor says minus 298, and unfortunately, I did not turn the record on. I don't know how I'm going to make myself remember to do that. All right, well, we're going to get off here then. I guess we won't have a recording to watch. Okay, why is the aircraft stopping when... All right, well, we'll go ahead and get off here. Kevin, thank you. Wonderful to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, we'll go ahead and get off here, but I know I've made a mistake too because I know the terminal is on the other side. So we're going to taxi down this way. Let's get our flaps up, clean up the airplane. I do see why my speed was too slow. When you come in like that, you get a little harder. The speed is too slow. And I had left the landing spoilers up. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back and, you know, you just keep practicing. You just keep practicing. So we're going to head to the terminal over there. We're going to pull up. We'll shut the airplane down. Let's go ahead and turn on our APU and get the APU bleed on so that we'll be ready to shut the aircraft down. Fort Myers traffic, United 207, shutting down and signing off for the night after getting to the terminal. Good night, VATSIM, UAL 207. Captain Jack Flight Simulator. Yeah.
Nice to you, sir.
Okay, we'll get taxied in here. Yeah, I used the speed brakes to slow us down. And I left them in that down position. Okay, we'll turn our landing lights, and now they've got that drawn really funny here. So I'm going to come in a little bit more because we don't want to hit that. Should be down the yellow line, but that jetway. And oh, look, there's the air marshaller here. How about that? Why would he take me right in? This airport has a marshaller. You know, we don't usually see these guys. Okay, well, we're going to stop right here. Brake on. What is that jetway doing? Because I did not call it yet. Oh, boy. What's going on with that thing? All right, well, it's getting over there. I don't think I could have come straight down that yellow line because I'd have run in to the jetway, and the marshaller is still there. All right, let's get the APUs on. Okay, APUs are on, engine shut down. Okay, we'll get down in here and we'll get the door open. And we'll go ahead and start disembarking some passengers. All right, well, once again, I am not happy with either one of those landings, and especially since I didn't record it, because I think that probably would have looked pretty doggone good, actually, on that landing. Okay, we'll let the passengers start deplaning here as soon as those engines get shut down. So there we are. All right, guys, Tampa to Nassau to Fort Myers. Good flight. I think everything overall went pretty doggone well, and had a good time. Had a really, really good time. So I think with that, we'll go ahead and call it a night here, and really appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you stopping in and having the night with me, and we'll look for you next week, all right? If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I'm going to work on those landing rates. My gosh, I had 2 or 3, under minus 150s here. And for some reason, that one should have been perfect. But again, I left the speed brake on, and we'll just keep at it. But, again, real-world pilots, they don't worry about that necessarily. They worry about landing legally in G rates, and we did both of those just fine. So what do you do? All right. Well, you have a good night. God bless you, and I'll look for you here next Wednesday night, all right? You take care.